Why, hello guys and gals, and welcome to, welcome? Wait, I don't even know what that was. Welcome? That was weird. Welcome to another review. This is what I get for recording close to 2 o'clock in the morning. I should really stick to doing the afternoon recordings, seriously. Wow. Anyway, as you can see from the thumbnail, today is another screener review. Yeah, I ummed and ahed over this one. So again, this one was sent to me like the start of March, but then I had to get another link, and there was a number of messages in my DMs, I'd say, in that first week of, I believe it was from the producer with, have you watched it yet? Have you watched it yet? Have you watched it yet? The stress was real. The pressure was also real. I didn't mind, on a human level, tad annoying, but in a business level, I totally get it. They have a film to promote, they're just doing their job. I mean, good on them for getting on the ball. And then of course I had to inform them I was having some health problems and they backed off, so thank you for that. But considering there was a lot of pressure to watch this, it kills me to say that I don't have a good review. I really wanted to, and I ummed and ahed about whether or not to do this review at all, because there is a huge level of expectation and pressure that comes with someone sending you the film that they worked on, saying, hi, will you please watch and review this? I know I keep saying this in my videos, but it's true. And when you don't have nice things to say, yeah, I didn't want to deal with the guilt. But I already backed out of doing one review because I didn't like the film, and also with that one I couldn't think of anything to critique other than the fact that I didn't like it and I didn't get it. So I've been asked to review it, so I'm gonna review it. Oh boy, I feel so bad. I just feel like I should just rip my heart out and sacrifice it on an altar right now, but anyway, let's do the review. Yay. Keep in mind, just for the record, before I start, I'm sorry, I know I'm all over the place, but before I start, if you don't know me and this is your first time watching one of my videos, let me just stress, I am a huge horror fan. Seriously, the blanket that I'm wearing right now, all horror people, it's a horror blanket, courtesy of my sister for my birthday this year. It's freezing, that's why I'm wearing a blanket. But horror is my baby. It's my favorite genre. It's why I watch like 300 horror films a year, man. So if you watch this and go, oh my god, you hate it because you hate horror films, just want to put that out there. Anyway, now that I have, on with the review. Body Farm is a 2018 American horror film directed by Brandon Keenan and Nick Lamantia, and written by Keenan. In it, an independent film company sends a videographer ahead of a story to investigate a body farm where human decomposition is researched. The footage she sends back leaves the rest of her team to follow her footsteps to uncover a grisly medical abyss. So, starting on positives, Keenan, Lamantia, and Brett Hollabaugh give the best performances of this film. The back and forth between these three was good, there was good chemistry, and I was at times impressed, especially when it came to Lamantia and Keenan. In my experience, it's rare for directors who cast themselves in their own movies to give good performances, so I felt these two did a good job. Sadly, not great, as there were several moments where I could see them thinking over their lines. The camera would be on them and there would be a pause before they reacted to a line, so I could see them thinking about how to react instead of giving a genuine reaction, and in those moments I was pulled out of the scene. But these little moments aside, I felt they did a solid job. Sadly, I did not remotely enjoy this film, and it pains me to say that. This film feels like it's missing a lot of the crucial filling, like a sandwich where it only has 2 pieces of bread and nothing in the middle. The story and the dialogue are constantly going from A to C and skipping over B. It's more than half the film before we learn that Eric and Justine were more than just friends with benefits, which is something I felt should have been addressed at the start of the film, because up until then I couldn't understand the character's motivations. He's worried about a girl who he claims to be seeing, but everyone in the office says she gets around. He's worried based on a brief clip of a video she made where nothing in it would indicate anything bad happened. We know it did, but nothing in the clip would make me suspicious. I'd maybe go, whoa, and that's it. She wasn't being threatened, coerced, there were no signs of immediate danger, and they're all meant to go catch up with her at the location anyway, so I never found a logical why for Eric's worry, and it was bugging me. I kept expecting that scene of him watching the video to be a video of her being tortured, which then prompts them to follow her trail. That would have been a good catalyst, but I felt a genuine catalyst was what the story was missing most. Dialogue has the same problems as the story. Someone would say something and the next person takes the conversation and tone in a very unnecessarily ominous direction, where even the other characters are like, wait, what did you just say? When you're around people who are straight out the gate acting hostile and insane, there's nowhere else to go. If you start at 100, then you've already peaked before anything has happened and the rest of the film starts to flatline. When the film takes a moment to breathe and characters start acting more rationally and just are engaging in innocent banter, the film becomes easier to watch, because I feel like in those moments we're finally getting to know the characters, but they are very brief and within a minute things get crazy again. There were some moments where I felt the practical effects were pretty impressive for an independent film, and then other times it was pushing it. Sometimes it felt like another horror film creating an abundance of blood and gore for no reason and getting so caught up in doing that that it forgets the small details. Zack gets his foot snapped in half with the most gentle kick I've ever seen and then falls and splits his head open on what I'd say was drywall, which is very weak material. An inmate hellbent on revenge saws a guard's head off, which I'm all for, except while they made blood splatter everywhere in the scene, they neglected to put any blood on the weapon itself. Little things like that pull me from the moment because those things should be a no-brainer. It wasn't until an hour into the film when I finally learned what the point of this film is. A bunch of people harvesting and selling body parts for profit along with finding suitable donors for one of their own. Realizing that, I was disappointed because it seemed like such a bizarre, unnecessary turn of events just to harvest some people. Like someone had to insert himself into people's lives, get close to them, do all this when they could have probably gotten what they needed a lot sooner and faster by posing as a client and luring them out, or hell, catfishing Eric. The kidney in the bathtub urban legend would have been a great reference point. I just felt the story could have been more concise and better executed because I didn't feel all the ideas they had worked together. One of my biggest issues with this film was the transplant. We see the computer screen, the files, the diagram, and they all show that they want to harvest Eric's pancreas for a pancreatic transplant, which is totally logical. Except the computer diagram showing the anatomy and pointing to the organ they want is wrong. So is the scene where they are meant to be performing the surgery. The pancreas is just below the stomach, kind of nestled between the stomach and the liver almost. The picture on the computer where it clearly reads pancreas transplant is pointing to the appendix, and during surgery they are cutting around the hip near the intestines, which is where the appendix is. They were nowhere near the pancreas. You're welcome to remove the appendix, but it's of no use. It's a useless organ that does nothing except sit around with the potential to one day rupture and kill you. Maybe it seems like something strange for me to have an issue with, but in horror especially, I am a stickler for details, and if you're a film about harvesting and transplanting organs, then you should do a bit more research into at very least knowing where those organs are. Seriously, a simple Google Images search would have helped. I didn't enjoy how this was filmed. The shots were very choppy. There would be some moments where a character would be introduced, they're speaking, but they still aren't appearing on camera yet. When it would cut to another person, it always felt poorly timed, so I think the editing was a bit off. There were a number of filming styles used in this, and I think the main problem is too many were used. It was starting to feel like too many cooks spoiling the broth, sadly. The score for the film, while wasn't bad, it was just confusing. One minute the music had very comical melodies, then it would quickly switch to menacing and then back, and it made it hard for me to figure out early on whether I was meant to be watching a serious horror film or a comedy horror. I wish it had picked a tone and stuck with it. I also think there were some audio issues, as I had to constantly turn the volume all the way up and then down, as one minute the scene was blaring loud, the next I could barely hear anyone. I don't enjoy panning this film, especially because it was sent to me. I really don't like panning independent films, and it always saddens me to watch a horror film and walk away annoyed with it, because horror is my greatest love in terms of genres. I will say I think it was clever how they included a plot twist at the end. I admit I didn't see it coming, which kudos to you, by the way. But because of all the other issues in the story and setup, it didn't feel effective. With some tweaks to the script, I think the twist could have been awesome as opposed to just meh. I also found it funny that this film is done by KVT Productions, and in the film, the videographers work for KTV Productions and are wearing the company logo on their hoodies. I don't know if this was meant to be meta or product placement, but I thought it was super clever and funny, and I was all for it. This film had some good reviews, so obviously there are people out there who enjoy it. I sadly wasn't one of them, and believe me, it is killing me to say anything negative, but I just can't lie and pretend to like something I don't. But if you like horror and like the subject matter I've described and want to give it a go, I will place links to the Body Farm official website in the description box along with their Twitter account, and you can check this flick out for yourself and see what you think. So, sadly, those are my thoughts and feelings on Body Farm. I can't begin to describe the level of guilt I feel. I never feel bad for giving my honest thoughts and opinions on a film, but oh man, the guilt that comes with screeners, it's on a whole other level. Or maybe it's just me. Could just be me. That's fine. That's cool. I'm used to that. For the record, aside from the fact that, like I said, that little fact about the organs of where the pancreas is and where the appendix is, you can easily find that through any Google search, but obviously for me to have noticed it, I had to already know that. The fact that anatomy was one of my best subjects in school, and also that I had to restudy anatomy when I got my license as a massage therapist, along with the numerous first aid certificates that I have, so I'm licensed to perform first aid, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I actually would have to end up tutoring people like with the skeleton, because I already knew this shit, and they're like, we don't! So had the skeleton, it was like telling everybody where everything is. So I know that stuff, and I just remember them cutting into the hip and looking at the diagram, and I'm just like, that's not where the pancreas is. That's your appendix. Because the appendix it's like this big, and you don't need it for anything. Until you get appendicitis and it gets inflamed, and then it goes like a ticking time bomb, which of course, if you don't have it surgically removed before it explodes, you can, go septic and die. And that's not good. But yeah, you've got your liver. I have a bra on, so this doesn't... Okay, I have a bra because I have boobs, so they're kind of in the way, but basically you have your liver, which is really, really big, so your liver's basically about here, stomach is here, and then pancreas is kind of nestled between the two. And I don't know, pancreas, I honestly don't know the size of a pancreas. I've never had to check one. Maybe I should go check the size of a pancreas. But anyway, hey, at least we walked away being a little bit educated on human anatomy from this review. You've gotten something out of this. That is all I have time for today. Oh god, I sound like my therapist. Ooh, that got awkward. If you go and look up this film and you look up a trailer or whatever, or the synopsis alone makes you go, oh, I want to check this out, like I said, follow all the links in the description box, and you know, if it's not available on VOD or anything like that, then definitely reach out to them and say, hi, I'd like to watch your film, can you send it to me? But I think you can purchase it. I think their website has some places you can purchase it, like Amazon, or I don't remember. Follow the links. The links will tell you far better than I. Don't listen to me. Like, that kind of counteracts the fact that I want you to click on my videos and listen to me. So I kind of dug myself into a hole with that one. Okay, well, dig in the hole. Let me just say that's it for today's video. Thank you so very much for watching. As always, thank you to my patrons. You guys are fantastic, and I'm a skidoo. So I will catch you guys in the next one. Until then, bye!